For 3 days now, I've been trying to find positive things to say about this game, because with my content, I always try to appreciate things just as much as I criticize them, and I always hope that my criticisms are constructive. And this has just been really challenging. I want to start off by saying that this is not a style-savvy game. If you go into this expecting a style-savvy game, you will be disappointed. I think if you haven't played Style Savvy, you will enjoy it more because you won't be comparing it to the many features in Style Savvy that are not in this game. But I will say that the representation of clothing is phenomenal, and for me, the game is worth it just for that alone. The Lolita fashion is really present and it looks really accurate. There is a camera drone feature that allows you to take photos of your avatar, and it's kind of difficult to figure out, but once you get the hang of it, there are a lot of options for taking photos, for crafting these looks. There is also a photo egg, which is essentially a Purikura booth, where you can take photos around different backdrops and decorate them, and as you progress, you unlock more things to do within that. Apparently you unlock more poses as well. I haven't unlocked more poses yet, but I really like games like this that have poses, especially in this game. You can see them moving, and I feel like that helps me a lot of the times in real life when I'm taking photos to think of things to do. If you want to make Lolita outfits, you want to furnish showrooms, you want to create photo shoots, you're really there for that decorative, creative aspect, then this might be a great game for you. But what else is there?
Well, it's a fashion game. I mean, your expectations can't be set that high. I mean, like, it's just like any other simulator game, like Roller Coaster Tycoon or The Sims. I mean, like, your expectations can only be set so high, so...
From that logic, then, I can compare this to Roller Coaster Tycoon and The Sims. I can tell you that there's definitely a lot more management, and there's just a lot more things to do in both of those games. This again is really boring. The game steers away from gender by having an A and B type body model, which is nice, but then they have restrictions to those body types. Like, I cannot put a dress on this body type, and I literally had an NPC who wanted tights and leggings on their wish list, and when I went to give them that, all of those options had been removed. Why are you including stereotypical gender restrictions in clothes? Just make the models be able to wear anything and everything. That's what they do in The Sims. I think that that's something that really needs to be fixed, like, right away. What do you actually do in this game? There is a lengthy tutorial phase that is entirely text-based, which, living with a visual processing disorder, I'm not a fan of. And when I was finished with it, I felt like I really didn't understand what I was doing, and I figured, you know what, it's probably because I'm dyslexic. I probably didn't interpret all of the text correctly. But no, this was a unanimous feeling across all of my friends.
I don't know how it works, to be honest. The game isn't really generous with information.
I feel like I'm not playing correctly. Like, I'm not sure what's going on.
Side note, now that I've played a little more, I'm kind of bummed it's missing a lot of the things Style Savvy had.
Not gonna lie, I was playing for quite a bit yesterday, and I got to a point where I was wondering if it was going to be like this for the rest of the game.
The world is divided by cocoons, and oh my gosh, I got so sick of the music in Hope because I was there for so long figuring things out, and it just repeated over and over and over again. A helpful thing I discovered is you can spawn to different areas by opening the map and selecting it, instead of trying to run around on the platforms. This is really helpful if you get disoriented and can't find your way around, or if you just want to jump between places faster. You can run around interacting with NPCs and people online. By viewing and liking their outfit, you can collect the pieces of clothing that they are wearing, which I recommend doing before you talk to them or create an outfit for them. I find it's instinctive to me to talk to a character, but once you are in this page, you can't get their items. So back out of it and like the outfit to get the items, and then you can talk to them and make an outfit for them. When you make an outfit for them, it's called a look it, and after you make this outfit, it will appear in the feed like an Instagram post. The characters will have a wish list or prompt for you, and online avatars will have preferences. You can earn different currencies by doing this, but you don't really get penalized if the character doesn't like the outfit. There is a ranking, but I do miss how in Style Savvy you had more guidelines and the people you would dress up would have a much larger positive or adverse reaction. Oh, she said something about reds, but she doesn't have any reds in her wardrobe. This is so cute. That top is really cute too. I'm just gonna dress you how I want and you'll probably get mad at it. I'm a master chef of fashion. Wow, I put you in a bucket hat. I wouldn't give me that qualification. You can also obtain articles of clothing from these boards, which are much like real life Pinterest boards, and you get them by just liking them. There is no currency to buy it. And I feel mixed about this because I find it really satisfying to just grab all of the pieces that I want, and I think that this could be really nice for someone who doesn't have as much Lolita in real life, has a smaller budget. You get that sense of having a big base wardrobe right away. But then I also feel like I don't know what I have. I don't feel as connected to the items because I didn't work towards them. Another aspect of the game is designing clothing for your brand, and that basically breaks down to unlocking different items and then being able to change the colors of them. And there might be more design elements that unlock later in the game, but I have friends who have dived even deeper into this game and are much farther ahead of me, and they have not reported any other design elements, so who's to say? The last major gameplay aspect is the showrooms, where you decorate a space. It's similar to the window displays in Style Savvy games or even the dollhouse feature in Fashion Forward. It's a nice way to incorporate interior design elements and staging for your designs. And people can visit your showrooms and unlock items through that, and you can go and visit other showrooms to see what other people have created. I found that this was a really nice way to connect with my friends because they would put up on Discord, hey, I put this particular item in my showroom. If you need it, come get it. Makeup and hairstyling seems to be present in this game, but it's just a bunch of presets. I don't know if later on you unlock more. I hope and suspect that you do, because in Style Savvy games, I remember in the beginning when you first unlock the salon, the stylist gives you a bunch of looks and you have to do a certain number of that until you can start deciding for yourself. I haven't really played around much in the salon feature because the select presets just look so different than me, and I feel like less of a connection to my avatar. Although I could go back to the green hair era lore. What is the point of this game? What is the end goal? In an interview with the developer, the objective given was to strengthen your own personal brand. And I believe that you do this by creating pieces and then using them frequently in your lookits and displaying them in your showroom a lot. The goal is to build your brand level. It's also been said that this is a dress up and communication game, but there isn't really any way to communicate. There's only 3 stickers that you can send people. Stamps, my apologies, there's stamps. This page is called Your World, and it is an absolute mess. These are people that I'm following, also suggested, and also my actual Switch friends. I wish that there was a way to sort out the actual players that you know, and there isn't right now. It looks like there is an upcoming update that looks a little bit more organized. I think that it has to do with this section of the game, because looking at this crazy map, it just is really overwhelming to me and difficult to appreciate. I understand that you wouldn't want to put a messenger service in a game where strangers can hide behind an avatar. Believe me, I get it. But I think that there should still be some way to give more feedback or interactions when you get a look at. Like maybe a little short survey that has preset questions that you can choose from, or even just more canned responses that you can pick from. I think that you could include a little questionnaire after you receive a look at that could include things like, what was your favorite piece in this look at? Does this match your style? And maybe that sounds boring, but you literally put bingo in this game. And listen, we love quizzes. And I feel like so many of my friends feel this way too. Send me an online quiz and I will stop whatever I'm doing and immediately take it because I want that result. Another objective of this game is to become a top influencer by gaining the most followers, which I understand is a part of social media, but it's the worst part of social media. And the fact that you put the number above the player's head is like so demeaning. It makes me feel like you're giving them value based on that number, and I absolutely hate that. Give them the option to turn it off or to have like a different rating, like diamond or star, something that's more abstract. When I think about numbers too much in social media, it sends me down like a depressive spiral. And the way that I get out of that is by thinking about individual interactions that I've had with people. And I'm so fortunate and grateful to meet so many of you at conventions, at meetups, and it really means so much to me to hear from you, like that you've discovered things about yourself from watching my videos. You've been able to express yourself in different ways. You feel supported in dressing up, and that's what really motivates me and keeps me creating. All of the stories that I've been told, all of the friendships that I made, that's what keeps me invested in being a real life fashion influencer. I prefer creator, but for the sake of this video, I'll just call myself an influencer. That personality, the story, the connection to people is completely stripped from this game. It's void. The NPCs have no personality at all. They will say the same 3 lines over and over again. And so much of that was in Style Savvy. They had fun stories. They had quirky sayings. You got to know repeat customers better and better. Like, so much of social media is connecting with people, actually connecting with them. Not just empty likes and numbers and followers and this is something that's become a repeat complaint in newer Switch games. This was a criticism many of us gave to Animal Crossing. It felt like their personalities were empty, they just were repeating things, they fell flat. My driving force for playing the game, my goal is to unlock more cocoons. I really enjoy seeing the different environments and taking photos in different spaces. This part has felt really slow to me. Everything else feels like you progress pretty quickly, but I've only unlocked 2 cocoons right now, and I have been seeing people posting photos from other ones, and I really want to play the other ones. For the sake of this video and seeing the other body type, I did make 2 avatars. I made Felix from Stray Kids. And what was nice was that when I went into my other avatar, everything shared, so the cocoons were already unlocked and I was building up towards unlocking more. It's so hard for me to separate this as a separate game away from Style Savvy because I am such a big fan of Style Savvy, and I understand that the developers want to have a different play style, they want to have a different story, but there is just a lot more gameplay overall in Style Savvy. This game feels a bit empty, and I understand that running a boutique has different management than like being an influencer, but something that's really missing from this game that could for sure be implemented is brands. Having brands in this game could offer a whole new aspect of gameplay that would work for being a fashion influencer, because so much of fashion content is working with brands. You can't survive on followers and likes. You have to do brand deals and sponsorships. Style Savvy has a huge backlog of brands, and I'm suspecting that part of the reason why they aren't there is because Style Savvy was published by Nintendo, but Fashion Dreamer was published by Marvelous, so maybe there's legal issues with using those brands. But like, work it out. I don't know. It needs to be there, or make new brands, change the names. I loved identifying different brands in Style Savvy, and even my friends in real life, we would look at different clothing pieces and be like, okay, this is clearly Angeli Sugar. This is clearly Raven Candle. Brands are a fundamental part of social media, of being a fashion influencer, and you could implement this into gameplay by having your influencers do brand deals where they have to style an outfit around a particular clothing piece. This gameplay already exists with some of the NPCs. They will have you make an outfit around a particular item. You could style a photo shoot to be promoting items from that brand. You could even have a ranking system where if you do more work within different brands, you could work towards becoming a brand ambassador. You could do collaborations and include your avatar and another avatar or an NPC where you dress them up in that brand. Then you could have them displayed in the cocoons, the photo images of the brand deals. Like, this already existed in Style Savvy, and it could work in this world as well. You could have players create showrooms to display different brands, and you could have them be able to identify different aesthetics between brands. Is this game worth buying? I can't confidently say yes, and I don't want to say no because I'm not ready to give up on this game. The first day that I started playing it, I was bored out of my mind. It was such a struggle for me to keep playing it. I had to literally use the Pomodoro method to get through it, and eventually I stopped putting all of my focus on playing this game, and I started rewatching Scream Queens while playing it. And then I found that I just put it down and was rewatching Scream Queens and not even playing it. It was really hard for me to get through. But once I unlocked the next cocoon, I felt like I got into it a lot more. Once I started talking to my friends about it and we were figuring it out together, it became more fun. And really just giving my friends look-its and receiving look-its from my friends and from random people online, that's what I really enjoy and has been a lot of fun for me, and I want to continue to see where this goes. I definitely think it's one of those games that you can listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook, watch something while you're playing it. Especially because the music design is very mediocre. There are updates for this game planned in December and January, and there has been hints at fashion shows, which could be interesting, and more content overall in general. I will say that I am tired of games releasing in this state of being unfinished and being added on to with updates. Like, I would have rather waited until January and had more of the features at launch, but I don't know, that's just me. As it is right now, this feels like a phone game. It doesn't feel like a full-fledged Switch game. I personally still wouldn't pass it up because the representation of fashion alone really makes me happy, but for you, you have to kind of assess how much gameplay you want out of it and really limit your expectations. Overall, I just wish there was more to do. I wish there was more clear directives. Oh, I want to try it out. This looks like a idol anime outfit. So cute! Okay. Yeah. Everyone is like alliteration on their name, and I feel weirdly like, are they watching me because I'm Lovely Lore? This is encouraging Eleanor. They're all like an adjective and then their name, and they're all alliteration. Your outfit was way better before, and I just dressed you up boring and I snatched your cute outfit.